Okay guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in with us today. We are currently in Azerbaijan for our fourth race of the season. We've done Australia, we've done Bahrain, we've done China, and now we are in Azerbaijan racing in Baku for Division 1. So whilst these guys are just getting their setups done, we're just going to quickly go over the results for D1 so far, the driver standings and the team standings. So currently we've got AJ in first place with 76 points. Then we've got Mats in second with 45, Max in third with 35, and Leica in fourth with 28. But also in fifth and sixth we've got Santi and Castle, also both on 28 points. So today is going to be a huge battle for fourth place and potentially third as well, because these guys could jump Max and even Mats if they get enough points this race as well. So super lot going on in the midfield. Then after Castle in sixth, we've got Jan in seventh just on 24 points, still very close behind, and we've got Bagpuss, Mary and Havoc with 15, 12 and 2 points respectively. Now we have a reserve driver with us today. That's Zed Atomic. You can see him on the left hand side of the screen there. He is taking the place of one of the McLaren drivers, Bagpuss, today, because Bagpuss is unfortunately away on holiday enjoying the sun and the sea. So Atomic's going to be racing for the McLaren, and we also have some bad news. His teammate, Mary, isn't going to be with us for the next few races at least, because he has some work commitments. So hopefully Atomic can get some points in from McLaren to keep them in the hunt. And we also have our F1IR Season 2 Championship winner, Izat, who has made his first appearance for Division 1. He has also been tied down with some work constraints, but he's able to race today in Baku, so this is hopefully going to be a very entertaining session. We know there's going to be safety cars, definitely virtual safety cars. Drivers are going to have to be very careful. One bit of wing damage around here is going to have a horrible effect on your race. So yeah, very careful. Everyone needs to be careful. So we've got a few drivers on the outlet right now. Let's just set up the map to see who's out in front. It looks like one of the Williams drivers are going to be first, so we'll just set the fitted tyres up and we'll jump to Havoc, because I believe he is the first one out. There he is, just coming through turns 18 and 19 right now. We'll ride on board with him and see how he does. So he's just coming through the final turn 20 there. Very long DRS straight. It's not very wise to have your ERS... Oh, he looks like he's dropped down a bit there. He might have just eased off the gas a little bit, but he's got about 65% of his ERS left. He's just crossed the line now. When he goes into turn 1, brakes at about 100 metres, turns in, stays in gear 3, takes a nice bit of exit curb at turn 1, and he's already on the straight now up to turn 2. Brakes just before the 50 metre board, about 65 metres there. Nearly touches the outside curb as he goes through turn 2, but he keeps it on track. His DRS is back open, and he is racing away now in this red section as they are coming to turn 3. Now let's see where he brakes here, just at the 100 metre board, turns in, a little bit hesitant on the turn in, might have got a bit too much oversteer there, but he's already turned into turn 4 now when he's racing down another straight. So this is the third straight up to turn 5. Very tricky chicane right now, because if you get too much of that inside curb, it's going to push you straight into the wall on the outside of 6, but he's done it very well. He's got the soft tyres on as well, so this will be quite a quick lap from him. Brakes at 75 metres as he's turning into turn 7. Almost a hairpin there. It's definitely more than 90 degrees, and now comes the tricky Castle section. Takes a lot of inside curb as you need to. It helps to rotate the car. Eases off slightly as he's coming through turn 12 there, and already back full throttle, and now really fast left-handers, I beg your pardon, through 13. Through 14, and here we got another almost hairpin turn 15. He brakes at about 60 metres there, takes a bit too much curb and it almost tips his car. Got a huge kick of oversteer as his wheels came back on the track, but he's managed to correct it, and he's still on a hot lap right now. He's switched his ERS back to overtake, and he's going to want to go full throttle through here, but he has got a driver in front of him. It's his teammate actually, maybe giving him a slipstream. So beautiful teamwork here, and here's Havoc getting a huge speed advantage. He's already at 208 miles an hour as he crosses the DRS line. This is amazing teamwork, and let's see what Havoc crosses the line with. He crosses the line with a 1:40.8. Now that is a competitive time. I think we're going to see about a 1:38 with some of these drivers, but wow, what a lap. Now let's just check on some other times as we're going through. Izat has set a 1:30.0 on the medium tyres, so the champion is back and he is showing what he is made of. Leica is just on a warm-up lap right now, so we'll switch to Atomic because I believe that he is the next one who's about to finish. So here he comes, looks like that was turn 20 there, the final turn. He's coming up to the line now, his DRS is open, and is he coming into the pits? He's coming into the pit, so he abandoned his lap. He's also got full ERS, so he must have made a mistake. Maybe these hard tyres aren't going to be suitable for him, as we see AJ cross the line with a 141, and that's on mediums. So AJ is currently the championship leader on 76 points, and now that Izat's back, his competition has arrived. This is going to be tricky for him. This is going to be a great race to see. Whoever's got the consistency is going to win round here, and that's something that these drivers need to remember. So who else is out on track right now? Lika might be on a hot lap, so let's jump to him and see how he's doing, because he might also benefit from a slipstream from his teammate. He is currently in front of his teammate, actually, and he's got his ERS set to 0, so I think this is his warm-up lap. So let's see how he does. Now, if you want to try and cut the corner at turn 15, you need to cut as much of it as possible. You need to be right on the limit. Otherwise, you're going to see what happened to Havoc, and you're going to see your car trying to tip and slam straight into the wall. So it's a really hard skill. AJ is the one that's nailed the corner cut there. I'll call it a corner cut, even though it's still legal because one of his tyres is still on the track. But yeah, I'll just call it a corner cut, but I don't mean he's doing something illegal there. But anyway, Leica is coming into the pit, so he helped his teammate out with the slipstream there, and he's coming in now, probably to put some soft tyres on, as he is seeing what kind of times these guys are doing. But we've got Castle on an outlap right now as well, and he's still on an outlap, sorry, so he's not going to be doing any times now. We do have an Alpha crossing the line. That must be Izat again. He hasn't increased his time though, so we'll stick with Castle for now, and then we'll see if anyone else is getting on. We do have a fast car coming. I think that might be Santi or AJ. Let's just quickly check where Santi is. Santi's in the pits. Let's see where AJ is. He's coming into the pits as well, yes. So we'll ride on board with Castle because he's about to start his hot lap. Now, Castle's racing for the Ferrari. He's currently in 6th place in the championship, 28 points. The battle for 4th place with him, Santi and Leica. He's a very fast driver. He can definitely nail quali. We saw an absolutely amazing wet lap from him out of nowhere. I think it was in Australia, I think. First race of the season, he just demolished the crowd, demolished the people on the track, and set almost a second quicker lap in the wet. But here he comes now, starting his lap. He's already set his ERS to overtake, and I'm not sure why people are doing this, because the start line is actually at the end of the straight, and the speed that you get from this to from the start line to the end of the straight based on your ERS is not going to be that much of an advantage. So it might be wise just to turn off your ERS until you get closer to the start line, and that way you'll have more at the very end. But you can see now, for example, he's only got 60% ERS. So let's see if he runs out before the end of the lap. But he gets through turn 1 on the hard tyres fairly quickly. Brakes at about 60 metres or 55 metres there, turns in, gets a nice exit out of turn 2, DRS already wide open, and away he goes into turn 3. So this is the potentially the second straight as he's coming out of turn 2 into turn 3. Looks like he brakes just after the 100 metres there, turns in nice and early, gets a nice amount of exit curb, and prepares his car for turn 4. Again, he's not really on the limit right now. I think he might be not pushing as much as he could, but he is on the hard tyres. As we see, Izat put in a 139.3, so he's already improved on the medium tyre, and that's 3-lap old mediums as well. But anyway, back to Castle as he's coming through turn 7 now. Doesn't take as much inside curb as you're seeing the other drivers do, and that might have an effect on his exit in that corner. But he goes down into second as he's coming through the Castle section. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, and he's just hit 12 there. But here he goes. In the middle of sector 2 now on these really fast left-handers, so that's turn 13 here, touches the inside curb. Don't want to touch it too much or it will push you wide. That's 14, and now he's coming up to the almost hairpin, and you can see Castle doesn't hardly take any of that curb. So you either take all of it or you take none of it at all, otherwise it's going to push you into the outside of turn 15, and you don't want that. But Castle's gone very wide, and Atomic has retired from the session, so we've got a yellow flag. Let me quickly jump to... Is it? Yeah, no it is. Oh, we've already passed it now, so we won't be able to see it. But here comes Castle, still got his ERS set to overtake. He still has a lot of it left, actually, so he still has just under 30% of it left. So he has done the right thing there. So I was wrong on that part. But let's see where he finishes on these hard tyres. He must have invalidated his lap because he's going again now, and he's turned his ERS all the way down. Yep, he must have invalidated his lap. Now, who's next? Let's see where Max is currently. Max is not on a hot lap right now, but he is trailing AJ. Leica is on a hot lap as he comes into turn 2. So let's ride on board with Leica and see how he does. So he gets a pretty decent exit. DRS open immediately as he comes out of turn 2. Already on this straight now as he's approaching turn 3. Let's see where he brakes. Oof, just at about 110 metres there. Drops it down into second, late downshift, but a very early upshift back up into third. Brakes at about 60 metres there as he's coming through turn 4 with the right-hand 90-degree turn there. Positions his car to the right-hand side, eases off, and then brakes as he's coming through turn 5 and 6. Hesitant on the throttle as he's coming through there, but he is still on a hot lap. Santi has set the fastest lap with a 1:39.0. So the race is on for first place right now, but you can see how much inside curb Leica took there at turn 7. You can see how many different lines these drivers are taking too. Leica is one of these drivers who stays in third as he goes through the castle section, all the way through there actually, so he didn't even drop down to second. So that was also nice to see. And we've got the Williams Havoc getting a yellow flag there, but I think that was just because Max was driving a bit slowly, letting these drivers past. Ooh, so you can see he almost got a little bit of air. He did a little bit of an ollie there as he went over the curb at turn 15. You need to be very careful, but he might have got a bit too deep there, but he has managed to turn the car, and he is already back up to full throttle. Now let's see if he lifts as he goes through 18 and 19 there. No, he doesn't lift. That's good to see. And here he goes through 20. DRS about to be open. And there goes his DRS. You saw it open there. That's the drag reduction system. It allows air to pass through the rear wing to reduce drag and basically allow you to go faster. And Leica has set a 1:39.7. 1:39.783, and that's put him into 4th place. But so far, Izat on the mediums is in 2nd place with a 1:39.3, and only 0.3 quicker on the soft tyre is Santi with a 1:39.0. So we might have another driver crossing the line shortly. Let's just quickly jump to see if it's Mats. It is Mats, and it looks like he might be, this is his out lap. So we'll ride on board with Mats and see how he gets on. Right, hot lap started, brakes just about 110 metres. Another, if you don't want to look at the meter board, because they are quite hard to see here, you can check where the red and white curb on the right hand side starts, and that's a good braking indicator if for some reason someone gets a lot of air and takes out the 100 metre board. But anyway, he's back up to speed now as he's coming through the 3rd straight. Ooh, so he eases off first and then turns in. Nice and early turn, and he manages to keep his traction all the way through the corner here. Eases off and then brakes as he's coming into turn 4, this 90-degree right-hander. Already back up on the throttle, positions his car to the right and turns in a little bit later than other drivers actually. And that's probably because he's going a bit too fast. But anyway, here he comes as he's approaching the almost hairpin at 7. See how much of the corner he cuts? Not as much as other drivers, and that's pushed him wide slightly. And he's hit the wall. He's turned his ERS down to 1. Is he abandoning this lap? Got yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's someone just letting another driver past. I think he's abandoned this lap, and I think he's going for another one. So right now it's AJ in first. Oh, there we go. AJ in first with a 1:38.3. So he's managed to set an even faster time on the softs. And Izat's currently in the pits right now. Let's see what the best has done. That's better. Izat's in the pits on the mediums, but he's coming back out on the softs, I believe, to make sure he can get that first place. But we are still riding on board with Matt as he's coming through turns 18 and 19 right now. Is he going to stay out? I think he might, because he has managed to save 80% of his ERS. He's shifted up to 8th. He's not. Is he coming in? Is he coming in? Yes, he's coming into the pits. Okay, so he had to abandon that because he hit the wall on the exit. Ooh. Is he retired from the session? What happened there? Why didn't his wheel come off? Now that's very strange. Is damage been turned off? No, I think he's got damage. Let's have a look at his front wing. Yep, he's lost all his front wing there. So he tried to come into the pits, lost it, and it spawned him back on track because he was blocking the pit lane. That's something I've not seen before. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But we do have some drivers out on the track right now. That's Jan and that's Castle. So we'll jump down to these two because these two are very clever when it comes to qualifying. As we saw in China, they are giving each other huge advantages by slipstreaming each other down these long straights. And I think we're about to see something like that. Again, we've got another yellow flag in Sector 1. Ooh, as Castle has to reverse because he outbrakes himself. And that will put Jan, who's currently behind him, he's going to have to cool down his tyres a bit. Or heat up his tyres, sorry, because he's going to have to slow down a bit. And that's going to cool his tyres down. We also have the two Red Bulls out on track right now, but that's because Max is coming into the pits so he doesn't have a wing. But Max is out on track as well, as we see something go on with one of the Now, did they come into contact? I think... Oh, no, it looks like it's Leica. Sorry for the jumping there. It's Leica and Jan who have had a problem there. There was a yellow flag. I hope nothing happened. Leica's wing looks okay. Mats has crashed. Oh, no, Mats has crashed round turns 13 and 14. Oh, that's a shame. Let's hope he doesn't get red flagged. We'll stay on board with Leica because he is about to come past him. Let's see. Yeah, Mats' car has come off the track now. So Mats unfortunately lost his wing and lost it through turns 13 and 14. But we do have some drivers about to start the lap. Max is one of them, I believe. So let's jump to Max quickly and see how he's getting on. So we're right on board. Here he comes. He's coming into the pits. Mats is coming into the pits as well. What is going on here? The next two drivers will be Leica and Havoc, who looks like they're giving each other slipstream as well. And Castle is about to start his lap, but we'll stay on board with these two for now just to see if they are trying to take advantage of this slipstream. We can see Jan behind him there, but I think Havoc's just a bit too far ahead. So I don't think Leica's going to benefit from the slipstream. As Havoc looks like he hit the wall there. We saw a bit of carbon fibre go across the track there, and that might have come off the front wing of Havoc, but he is giving his teammate a slipstream. Right, let's ride on board with Leica and see how he does. So, as into turn 1, he brakes just at the 100 metre board, turns in, gets a nice amount of inside curve. Usually that would jolt the car too much and cause it to over-rotate, but it didn't, and he is okay. Turns into turn 2, slight lock up on the front left, comes out, DRS wide open, full throttle, already now approaching, getting his line already in the perfect angle to reduce track distance as he's coming into turn 3. That's another skill of Leica's. He always knows exactly where to position his car. Turns in, doesn't take any curve, it's very useful, that is. And car moving out of the way there for him as he goes through turn 4, 90-degree right-hander, comes out of there nice and early on the throttle, spinning the back wheels slightly, and here he comes into turns 5 and 6 at the chicane. Don't want to take that inside curve at 6 because it will push you out, push you into the outside wall, but he's managed to get through this first sector very nicely so far. You can see how much of that corner he can take as he's going through 7 here, and let's see if he stays in 3rd as he comes through the castle section again. You can see his car's just constantly in 3rd, no changing, and that's helping him keep his traction, making sure his differential is keeping those tyres locked exactly where he wants them, and he's managed to get through. Ooh, gets a bit too much curve there. This is what I was saying at turn 15. You need to be so careful there, because if you don't take enough of the curve, it's going to push you. If you take too little of it, it's going to push you as well. So it's either all or nothing. And these drivers are really losing out because of that. So here he comes through 18 and 19 there. We've got another yellow flag in sector 2. We've got a Ferrari off the road, it looks like. Yep, one of the Ferraris has come off. But they're back up to speed now, and let's see what speed Leica can do on the soft tyres. He's only set a 139.6. Is he going again? I think he is. I think he's going... No, he's backed out. He's backed out. He's not going again. So who else is about to cross the line? Havoc is about to cross. Oh, he's coming into the pits at the last minute. So it's going to be the two Ferraris. Castle still hasn't set a time. So this is it. This is his only chance now. He needs to get the slipstream from Jan. Otherwise, he's not going to be able to set a time. Jan goes straight on there. And away he goes. So, was Jan helping him out there? I think so. Jan is currently in 4th with a 139.4. Let's see if Castle can improve. Fifi, it looks like you gave Atomic the commentator's curse there, or the spectator's curse, I should say. You evil, evil boy. So Fifi's just said prediction Atomic DNF, and Atomic did DNF, so there you go. Anyway, here comes Castle now as he's coming through turn 7. Let's see how much of the curb he takes. I don't think he takes that much. No, he doesn't. He takes too much, actually, and he has to brake so he doesn't hit the wall. Need to be very careful through turn 7. Oof, and he's hit the wall, but he is still on a lap. He broke a bit too late, locked up the front right as he was turning in, and clicked the wall. He's probably got a little bit of wing damage. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, he's lost his front right end plate, unfortunately. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 as he's passing one of the Williams there. That's Leica. Doesn't take any of that curve, so he's playing it very safe now, but he hasn't set a time, remember. Neither has Mats or Atomic, but they're out of the session, so they're going to start in 8th, and well, at least in 8th place. Depending on how Castle does. Now he's only got his ERS set to medium. He's set it back up to overtake now, so that's good. But will he be able to set a competitive time, bearing in mind he lost his front right end plate? He's coming into the pits! He's abandoned his lap! Wow! So he is going to be able to start on whatever tyres he wants now, and that might be crucial. So he decided to abandon it, probably because he knows that he wasn't set a competitive time because he hit the wall twice, I believe. But he is in now. Is Jan coming in? No, Jan's still staying out. Is this Jan's competitive lap? Let's have a look. No, he's over 2 minutes. So Jan's just crossing the line, I suppose, so he doesn't have to come into the pits and take longer. So that's it. So in first place, we've got Izat with a 1:37.8. I missed that, but that is absolutely phenomenal. Then we've got AJ with the 1:38.2, and in third place, we've got Santi with the 1:39.0. Then we've got Jan, Leica, and Max, followed by Havoc, Matt, Castle, and Atomic. 2 drivers DNFing in this qualifying session. It's a very difficult track, and honestly, the people that are just most consistent and safe, I think, are going to win this. You don't need to be flat out the whole race, you need to be consistent and safe. Make sure you get a good exit out of turn 16, I think it is. Yep, if you can get a good exit out of turn 16 and turn 2, you should be okay.